Howdy y'all, this is Texas Gaming Industries here, and welcome to another episode of my Let's Play Railway Empire. In the previous episode, we expanded our railroad finally to the west coast, connected to San Francisco, as well as operating our very first coast-to-coast passenger train, which I'll have right here, though it's right behind a freight. But anywho, in this episode, we're going to basically continue expanding our rail network, as well as trying to complete the northern transcontinental route and the southern transcontinental route. So let's finish the north one first. The north one will basically end in Seattle, Washington. This will basically be the hub of the Northern Pacific, so to speak. And get this, I messed up my track nodes again. I'll add another station here in Portland, Oregon. So, trains from Seattle can travel straight on into Portland. And with a spur line traveling over this section and basically reconnecting onto this main line, heading straight to Portland. AKA, basically 2 track nodes here at Baker City, and basically connecting it to Portland, Oregon. Guess this will have to do. 13% grade is not what I was expecting, but beggars can't be choosers. Along with that, we can also expand the track network from Carson City, and connect it up to Portland, Oregon. This will allow people in the state of Oregon to travel to California for the gold rush. Well, Nevada, so to speak. We'll build a bridge over the river, see if I can find a good low spot. Or basically, build here and build a bridge over the river. Guess 7% is the only maximum I will be able to build on. And we have one of the first steep bridges on the railroad that is made out of steel. And I messed the track nodes up again. Sheesh, I need to learn to be careful on how I place my track. Is that the only bridge I have on my railroad that's steel, though? I think the other ones are just wooden, so to speak. Yeah, I believe the only ones I have are wooden ones. So this is basically a hallmark. The first steel bridge on my railroad. Now, we'll also have to start operating passenger and freight services in order to pay back the investment I spent on building these routes. This will probably do better. And that will basically do it. Though we also have to get these tracks at White Farm connected down south. We'll basically hook it up to the main line here. Or we could build a bridge straight over to allow the trains carry logs and grain to Portland. And great, 16%. If I could just find a nice, gentle slope. 2%, 1%. I guess the 1% will have to do. There we go. And these other track nodes can be used to connect to the main line heading straight to Seattle, Washington. Well, I basically made a first track section. I'll fix it. Whoa, got a lot of bonuses. All of them are just for express lines. Now, express trains are kind of hard to get. It's like all passenger trains need to have a speed boost on all its locomotives, even if you have the fastest locomotive available in the game, and it just says, nope, you need to have a faster route, or a faster locomotive. Well, beggars can't be choosers, again. Anyway, I'll take one train of grain to Seattle, the mogul in charge, and one load of logs. Since the train is climbing up a grade, I'll make one train carry grain and the other carry logs. And I'll be using the Baldwin 10-wheeler for this operation. Right then. Now, let's start passenger trains off in Seattle and deliver them to Baker City. Engineer, conductor, and then take passengers down to Portland. Voting rights for women. Nearly $175 million. Then Baker City to Portland. Actually, Portland to Baker City. And then the other one from Portland to Carson City. Plus, while the train is loading up, we will give you some time to basically add the last few touches. And a freight train between Portland to Carson City would really help out, as since Carson's producing meat, it's a commodity that Portland needs. Oh, gotta make sure that the maintenance facilities are up and running before anything else. Plus, I also gotta get the passenger train between Wanamuka and Carson City done as well. since Winnemucca and Carson City are basically producing meat, one of them will have to eventually be transformed into another industry. I'm thinking Carson City could produce textiles, as there's a cotton plantation not too far from here. I could deliver cotton here, make textiles, and deliver it to Winnemucca, and then later to Portland, and even down to San Francisco. Which, by the way, since that train is the transcontinental train is the only one traveling between those two cities. So, I'll add a passenger train here between Carson City and San Francisco. And a freight train between San Francisco and Carson City with a Baldwin 10-wheeler because of the grades. Plus, grain deliveries would basically help the city grow a bit, as well help produce beer in Sacramento. Well, San Francisco, basically. Because it's super close proximity, the Little Philadelphia will handle it, and the Dragon will handle the train between there and Carson City. Well, I have to say this was a lot easier to construct than I first thought. Now I also have to find a way to get the passenger service between San Francisco and Portland completed. Build a bridge, and then we'll have to build through the mountains. I guess a long tunnel will probably suffice. Plus, passengers can have a chance to look at the beautiful California coast on the trip. Plus, I could later expand Portland to making clothing, and once clothing becomes a big industry, becomes big in San Francisco, I can deliver it there. Let's see. Auto-singling. Auto-singling. And then add a maintenance facility here in San Francisco. Manual, put passengers between the two cities. And also fix these prices on some of these routes. So that way passengers will have a much better fair deal when they're traveling by rail. Well, Salt Lake City could bring in more logs and bring more grain, I think. Even though there is a logging camp connected to their route already. Logs are being delivered down there from shopping. Actually, I think I could just turn this into a balloon. It's not gonna do anything, but it will be quite nice. Let's see, Portland is growing pretty well. What about Carson City? Only 59%. There's no logs and no corn being delivered. And there's no meat as well. Looks like this cattle ranch will have to do double duty. I'll put in the 280 in charge of this operation. We now have enough points to basically unlock another locomotive. We could go for the Reno, which is a lot faster, but we'll probably wait till the latter half of the 19th century. So, we'll probably unlock the Brooks 260 Mobile. This will basically replace all the locomotives in charge of freight operations. It's a lot more powerful and a lot more faster too. Though, the thing is, it's a lot faster than the Inyo. Might as well also invest in the shock absorbers as well. Or I can invest in the Shade class level, which I'm waiting until next year to get. With those new springs, our trains can travel around curves at 10% faster speeds, and increase the amount of workers I get in applicants, except those in the criminal worlds, by 10%. 10% locomotives. But in the comfort, basically to attract people interested in riding on the line. Oh, got another task done. Let's see. I think we have the achievement of achieving a company value of nearly of 181 million. Well, I think we did at one point. Maybe it's 6 express trains? That's only 5, so I may have had it at one point. It says produce 3 loads of fruit per month. Well, the Wilson Estate is basically a good spot for this new operation. Oh, a station master. Haven't got one. Ooh, he does not like Mr. Adrian Phillips. But, thankfully, an argument won't happen in the office compared to those on a train. Increase the monthly innovation points by 5%? Yes, please. So, we're almost basically done collecting the locomotives of the 1870 to 1890 era. Then we'll basically reach the tail end of the 19th century and head towards the 20th century. Now, the other thing I need to do is expand the network down south. Past the salt mine. Ooh, there's actually a corn mine. There's a corn farm here. That could basically help us out with some of the town's growth. A nice steel bridge from Death Valley, and then a large station in Los Angeles, California. down the signals. And since Wanabuka is producing meat, and Los Angeles has beer, I suspect a passenger and freight operation will start becoming a norm on this line. And we made an $868,000 profit. Very good. Switch the starting places at Wanabuka. Works mogul in charge. Refrigeration car and a caboose. No suitable freight available. Well, this is because preservatives are not, because there's no steel being produced. Let's see, what city? I did say I was going to make a city into a steel town somewhere. Because there's coal here, and there's iron ore there. Maybe I might convert Great Falls to that. But that might come later. Or I could convert Baker City into one. I mean, it's nearly reached 40,000 residents, but I need a little more time. And no, I'm not buying that consolidation yet. It's too early. Now, let's expand the track nodes here and expand towards down south towards Los Angeles. And once we get Los Angeles connected to the rail network around here, we'll basically have completed our very first set of we have basically built ourselves a north, south, and Midland-style transcontinental railroad. Speaking of which, I'll also have to make sure that these track nodes are available for trains heading towards Sacramento. Why do I keep saying Sacramento? I meant to say Carson City. Because these two tracks are heading towards Wanabuka. Pass by a dairy farm. We'll build up a little bit. Build over a bridge. If only I could find a sweet spot for 0%. 4%, 2%. Ugh. I'll just start off from here. It's a 15% grade. It's not gonna go any lower than 3%. That's fine, as long as I can be able to make these routes work properly and not be a strain on my locomotives. I won't mind. Curve section, past the dairy farm, and finally connect straight into bother. Oh, come on. I press shift and then it just deletes my track. Sometimes these glitches can happen when you least expect it. Let's see. Build up. Curve. Curve. Build over. Ooh. I'll do that for now. A 1% will be fine. And we basically have done it, ladies and gentlemen. We have finally connected the north, south, east, and west by rail. Every city connected by rail. Now, I've done the Pennsylvania Railroad scenario on Steam with the trains operating in the correct areas. I think every train will be basically operated under my jurisdiction. Decrease the price. Los Angeles has a beer factory, so beer will basically be delivered to Kingman. And then a train from Los Angeles to San Francisco. A freight train from Carson City to Los Angeles. And a passenger service from Carson City to Los Angeles. Switch the starting positions to the Inyo in place, as well as reduce the prices. And I guess that will basically be it for this episode. We basically connected a whole bunch of towns and industries, and not to mention, we have completed the transcontinental railroad from sea to shining sea, and every city in the country is now under my rule. Come to think how far a railroad company has gone in over 40 years. So, if you liked this episode of my Let's Play Railway Empire, please be sure to leave a like and a comment, as well as subscribe to Texas Gaming Industries for future video uploads on each and every Friday of the week. So, this is Texas Gaming Industries saying thank you for watching this video, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Bye!